Attention all horror fans, get ready to step back into the world of Michael Myers, because Boss Team Games has just dropped some thrilling news. The legendary horror franchise Halloween is about to make a spine-chilling return to the gaming world, with not just one, but two brand new video games in development. Created by John Carpenter in 1977, Halloween has terrified audiences for over 4 decades. Michael Myers, the unstoppable force of evil, has become a symbol of fear, stalking his prey in the small town of Haddonfield. But Michael's reign of terror isn't just limited to the big screen. The character has made appearances in the gaming world before, leaving players trembling with every encounter. From his terrifying inclusion in Dead by Daylight to various Halloween-themed inclusions over the years, Michael Myers has proven to be a formidable foe in the digital world, but now it's time for something entirely new. Boss Team Games, the studio behind Evil Dead the game, are the ones tasked with trying to capture the essence of this beloved horror franchise and try to translate it into a thrilling video game experience. The official press release was released yesterday, and IGN were the ones who had the exclusive, with the following being a standout statement. The games will allow players to relive moments from the film and play as classic characters from one of the most iconic and important horror films of all time. Just with this here, it seems that we will only be getting either the very first film or just the first two, because that is the only ones that John Carpenter was actually involved with properly. With this press release, we have the following brief statements from both John Carpenter and Boss Team Games. Everyone at Boss Team Games are huge fans of horror, and Halloween obviously holds a special place in the hearts of all horror fans, said Boss Team Games CEO Steve Harris. Getting to work with iconic characters like Michael Myers and build on John Carpenter's original vision is literally a dream come true. Everyone at Boss Team is thrilled and honoured to be working with Malek Akkad and John Carpenter to deliver a one-of-a-kind experience that fans of the movie and video games will love. Sadly, this is a very generic copy and paste response from Boss Teams. We've seen many of the developers say something similar to this in the past. Boss Teams has only one major game to their name, which is the aforementioned Evil Dead, which sadly died after 18 months due to the lack of updates and quality of life changes. For the other statement, this time from the master of horror himself, John Carpenter, who is a huge fan of video games by the way, released the following. As a huge gamer myself, I'm thrilled to help bring Michael Myers to life again in this game, and my hope is to scare you silly. With John Carpenter being, as they say, intimately involved, this does give us some hope that both games will be fun and hopefully have some good scares. Seeing that Boss Team Games is involved though, it does give myself and other franchise fans a little bit of a worry. Boss Teams were co-developers and the publisher for Evil Dead the game, which had quite a large advertising campaign and launched to good feedback from gamers and critics alike, with reviews more in the favourable category. But within a few months, the game was already showing small signs that it was dying. Player count dwindled, story missions were few and far between, and when they were released, they were very, very underdeveloped. Over the next 18 months, DLC was released for the game, but they consisted more of outfits than actual content that would help the game in the long term. On September 19th, 2023, 18 months after the game was released, Boss Team Games and Saber Interactive both announced that all live content support for Evil Dead the game would cease immediately, but there were no plans to shut down the servers. Since then, the game has had double experience and soul points permanently enabled, which a few outlets they thought this was done to get players back, but they were wrong. Earlier today, some new information has come out on what one of these games will be, as Boss Team Games has released a trailer for Retro Realms Halloween. The game is a 16-bit side-scroller, which does seem a little bit strange and unusual for Michael Myers. As you can see from the trailer, it seems to be in the style and essence of the old Double Dragon and Ninja Turtle 16-bit games. Here we can see Michael taking out what looks like to be inmates from the asylum that he was a part of. With the press release, we can probably guess that these games will be more in line with the asymmetrical games like Evil Dead and Dead by Daylight, which could be a bad move going forward. We've seen many video games try and copy the formula that Dead by Daylight uses, which normally results in that game dying a painful death. A perfect example is the recent Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Back in August 2023, Texas Chainsaw had a great launch. The game was getting great reviews with praise going to the faithfulness and also the very unique 4v3 gameplay, but criticism was soon to follow. As with Evil Dead, the support dwindled and Chainsaw was even handed over to another new development team called Black Tower Studios, who also worked on another asymmetrical horror game, Friday the 13th, which also died a painful death, but this was due to the franchise going through a very messy court battle. I do hope though that we get some sort of single player, mission type game, because that is what's needed for a great horror game based on this iconic franchise. Yes, you can do a multiplayer game as well, but the only winner in the asymmetrical horror landscape is going to be Dead by Daylight, and that's only due to the film and TV licenses that they're able to acquire. For myself, I would want Halloween the game to be like Alien Isolation. A brilliant story-driven game with incredibly thought-out jump scares, a great story, and also a lot of respect for the franchise. But we will have to wait and see. When these games do arrive for all us horror fans, it will be over 40 years since Michael Myers has actually appeared in his own video game. Let's hope it doesn't disappoint. Until then, stay safe, stay vigilant, and remember, Michael Myers is always watching.
Yeah.